guys, it's Wenji here. Today I'll be sharing with you some tips on how to save money, and these tips I personally use all the time. I haven't always been that great at saving money. I went through a phase in my early adulthood where I was so bad. I shopped all the time. I was pretty much a shopaholic. I think I had addiction. I probably had a bit of a problem, and I think that came about because back in uni, I did a course in advertising and promotions management, and all the girls in that course dressed so well. They're always so stylish and they're always carrying the latest handbags and designer goods, and I just really wanted to fit in, and that started my shopping addiction. I made a really great friend from the course and we just went shopping, and it got to a point where I got bags of clothes sitting in my room from like shopping trips I did like a month or 3 months ago, and I'd totally forgotten about it. I'd just leave it on the floor, and then one day I'd go over and I look into it and I'm like, oh, this top, I bought this like ages ago, I haven't even worn it. So it got to a point where I just felt like I was shopping for shopping's sake as opposed to shopping to buy things I actually wanted. And it got so bad, and I had a lot of credit card debt, and it was not great. Since then, many years later, I've been sort of developing little habits over time to really help me save money. Because I think when you get to a certain age, and you may not be there now, but you have to start thinking about your future, and you can no longer depend on your parents. I haven't lived with my parents for a very long time, and they haven't financially aided me pretty much ever since out of high school. At the end of high school, my parents didn't give me any money. I worked for all my money. I had jobs and I had a scholarship, so that really helped me in terms of my financial independence. But the problem was, I was never really taught how to manage my money, and for someone that suddenly gets, you know, all this control over their money, and also you get a job and you have all this income, you know, what's the first thing a girl does? You go shopping, and you sort of get addicted to it. I just thought it was a reward for myself for working so hard and earning the money. And I think when I moved out of home, that's when I really learned a lot of things. You learn that you have to pay your bills, you have to pay your rent, and you know, you can't depend on anyone for that. And if you lose your job, you just pretty much get kicked out of your house. You don't have understanding parents that are like, it's okay, you can stay and sleep here while you get back on your feet. So unfortunately, I had to learn the hard way, and I'm really glad I did. These are some money saving tips that I thought I would share with you guys, and I've been practicing a lot lately as well. The first tip I want to share with you guys is to eat before you go out. I tend to spend a lot of money on like snacks or drinks or things when I go out, simply because to me it's like not a lot of money. It's like a couple of dollars here and there, but you know, that all adds up. One thing that I've discovered that helps to curb all that spending is actually to eat when you're at home before you go out, and to drink a lot. I don't know about you, but I'm the worst shopper when I'm hungry. I will buy things that I think I will eat later, and I will just buy things like snacks and lollies and chips. And it's not great when you go shopping when you're hungry. And also, eating at home is a lot healthier, and you can probably prepare something that's much lower in calories than you would if you ate out. Tip number 2 is always to bring a water bottle or a thermos or something like that with you when you go out. When I was young, I was actually told never to buy drinks in a restaurant. My parents like banned me from buying drinks. They would make me drink tea at the restaurant or get like free water, and we went to a lot of Chinese restaurants and all I had was hot water, because that's all they serve you, so I kind of got used to drinking hot water. I understand that now. When I was little, I thought it was a bit unfair that I couldn't order, you know, drinks, because, you know, as a kid you love Coke and Fanta and you want to have it with your meal. My parents are like, have as much as you want at home, just don't order it in the restaurant. And I understand that now. I hardly ever order sugary drinks when I go out. That's just one thing I just don't do. Also, it's just a lot of sugar and calories that I really don't need, especially when I'm trying to maintain my health and diet as well. So to me, it's like a lose-lose. So always bring a bottle of water if you get thirsty. And if you're a coffee lover, I'm a really guilty person where I love to always have a coffee in my hand when I go shopping. And I know I should do this tip more often, and I don't, but if you like coffee or tea, just bring a thermos of coffee and tea with you. I'd actually make it and put it in like a little thermos mug thing. You can buy really cute ones these days and save $3 or $4 every time. Number 3 is shop the sales. For those of you guys that can't curb your spending habits like me sometimes, and you want something new and you want to go shopping, I try and always shop in the sales rack I may splurge on a few key pieces every season, but generally I will try and scour the sales racks. And they're great for basics because basics never go out of fashion. So even when basics are on sale, it's not like they're out of fashion. You can just pick up some really great quality basic pieces for a lot less. And there's always sales on. Go to factory outlets, go to the sales rack of your local store. Just keep an eye on it when you go shopping. You don't have to buy it straight away, and you can wait till it goes on sale. You can save a lot of money that way. For shop discount codes, this is more applicable for online shopping. Almost every single online store that you're planning to buy from will probably have a coupon code floating somewhere online. It's just as easy as searching for that particular store name and coupon code, or that store name and discount code. It may take a little while trying them until you find one that works, but whenever I'm buying a big purchase online, even when I bought my bed, I was searching for discount codes and I managed to find like a 5% off, which was really good. And that's money you would save for something that you'd buy anyways. So it's sort of like free money for me, and it only takes an extra 10 to 20 minutes to just do that search and to try a few codes. And I think if you shop online, this is like a must habit if you want to save some money. Tip number 5, I always scour for cheap food options and keep that top of mind. So when I went to uni, I looked at all the places that had cheap food. So we had like $2 fried rice in the food court, that was an option. $3 pide. If I really wanted to splurge, I'd probably spend $5 on a spaghetti bolognese. So it was just a matter of finding cheap places to eat at and then using those cheap places as an option for when you get hungry. I always try and find a place that's like $5 or less. Sushi rolls are pretty much a go-to when I buy food, and one sushi roll can keep me full for a couple hours, and that's only like $2.90. So that's always a go-to option. It's very healthy as well. Tip number 6 is use cash. Now I've been a big credit card user for a long time. I love the fact that I get rewards and points, and I've collected so many points and it makes me feel good, but also it actually makes you not realize how much money you're spending because it just feels like you swipe your card. And with PayPass and PayWave these days, it's very easy to just swipe your card and go, I didn't spend any money. And when you see your cash disappearing from your wallet, it seems more real. So I think using cash is a really good way to spend less, but I think it's a personal preference thing as well. I know some people that actually spend more cash because they go, oh, I have cash, I'm gonna buy something now. So I think this particular tip is a personal preference. What I've been doing now is I've been putting envelopes for different categories of spend and just putting the cash in there. That's all I'm spending. So for example, for groceries, I put $100 in my grocery envelope, and that's what I'll be using for the rest of the week. So I can physically see how much is left. If you have trouble controlling yourself, you can limit the amount of cash. Just take that out and just limit yourself to that much, and then don't give yourself any more once it's run out. 7, I know we're all saving up for something. Just keep a picture of that in your wallet. So every time you open your wallet and you go to spend, it will remind you what you're saving for, and it may stop you. The other thing is you could stick a picture of that on your computer. If you're an online shopper, you may not open your wallet that much. Maybe just stick it to your credit card. So just simple reminders like that can probably keep us on track. The next tip I have for you guys is to really find something you spend money on regularly and try and cut that back. And if you focus on things that you spend every day or every other day or often, over time you'll accumulate a lot more savings on that, as opposed to trying to save on like those one-off purchases. So these can be things like coffee or lunch. I used to have a coffee every single day, and now I've cut it back to a coffee every other day or once a week or something like that, or giving myself a coffee fund. A lot of this kind of spending is more of a habit thing. You've probably just developed a habit of having it or spending it. You crave it every day. It's like a craving because you're so used to it. And if you just target one thing that you can either reduce, so maybe instead of getting a large, you can get a small. Instead of buying this, you can buy a cheaper alternative, or maybe do it once every other day. Over time, you can save a lot more money and you can buy something else that you really want with that money. Next tip is for the shopaholics again. I know that it's really hard for me to just say stop buying everything. That would really hurt me as well. I probably couldn't do that. If you actually plan what you're gonna splurge on and what you're gonna save on, I think that's really important, because sometimes without a proper plan, you just go spend a lot of money on everything pretty much. And I have an upcoming fashion haul that I want to share with you, and I really sat down and planned that. I was like, I'm gonna splurge on this piece and save on this piece. I mean, you can get some really great cheap options for like a basic t-shirt, but you might want to spend a little bit more on shoes. So it's kind of like planning the pieces you need to buy and then working out how you can mix and match things, because I feel like, you know, an outfit, you can splurge on one thing and make it look really good while saving on everything else. And my last tip for you guys is actually to create a budget. I'm budgeting my life, and it's not like someone disciplining me or anything. It's just figuring out what I spend my money on and then keeping track of that, and also to look at your life and go, what do I value the most? Do I value food the most? Do I value clothing? I reckon a budget is very personal. I don't think it's something that you can just get a template and go with. You'll have your own personal preferences. I reckon sit down and think about what's the most valuable things to you in life, because it turns out it could be that, you know, giving gifts to your friends gives you more joy than buying a coffee every day. So your budget may be just a matter of saving your coffee money and then spending it on gifts to your friends and family. That's probably something you never thought about until you sit down and do a budget. That's not something I thought about either. It's about aligning your spending patterns with what you want in life. And if you don't think about it, I feel like we spend money on a lot of things we don't really care about. It's an impulse at the time. Yeah, if you really sit down and think about what's important to you, you'll start to see what you should save your money on. For me, a future home is going to be one of the most important things for me coming up. So that's something that I've really focused on, and saving money feels good because I know it's going to be going to the right place. That being said, I also value fashion and beauty things as well. So I've also created a little budget for myself to spend there, because a budget shouldn't be something that deprives you of the things you love. It should actually help you obtain the things you love by saving in areas where you don't really care about and you didn't know you were spending that much. Yeah, I guess to finish, I just really want to say you're never too young to learn how to use your money and to start saving, because this is something that I wish I knew. My mom's been telling me forever, and I never really listened because it's something my mom told me, and I don't know about you, but I'm a bit of a rebel sometimes. But yeah, you're never too young to start saving money and learning how to use your money. And I feel like if you started a job and working and making your own income, it's going to be particularly important for you to start thinking about it. Let me know in the comments box below if you guys have any other tips for me in terms of saving money. Is there something that you do regularly that you feel like saves you a lot of money? I hope you enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed making this. I really love sharing all these things I learn in my life with you guys, although it's not exactly a beauty and fashion sort of thing. If you enjoy videos like these, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. That lets me know that you like it and I could do more of it. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!